Jesus dies that day, he's not alone. He's not alone. The Scripture clearly says that he's not alone. And there's a small group of supporters at his feet that we read about. And so they include his mother Mary and John, the beloved disciple, and Mary Magdalene. He wasn't the only one dying on that day. We're told that two other men had died with him at Calvary that day. Two of him, and there would have been organs that would have been exposed. And so it was just a horrific scene there of his suffering that he went through. The Bible makes it clear that Jesus suffered greatly when he died. Isaiah says that Jesus says there were many who were appalled at him. His appearance was so disfigured beyond that of any human being, and his form marred beyond human likeness. So he wasn't even recognizable when he was placed on that cross. And so Isaiah says a little further down, actually in the next chapter in 53, it says, Who has believed our message, and to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? He grew up before him like a tender shoot, and like a root out of the dry ground. He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him, nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. He was despised and rejected by mankind, a man of suffering and familiar with pain, like one whom people hide their faces. He was despised, and he would held him in low esteem. Surely he took our pain and bore our suffering, and yet considered him punished by God, stricken by him and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities, and the punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed. He suffered. However you want it, whatever phrase makes you comfortable this morning, that's what he was there for. And I want to share that thought. I want to just stop there and pause for a minute and just talk about that road to paradise that we see here in Scripture. And I want to show you the connections that each of these three did and condemned for a crime. And that verse tells us that he was hanged. That word "hanged" is an interesting word there. And after his trial, he would have been beaten, and he would have been taken outside the city, and he would be placed to a place of execution, nailed to a cross, and he in his agony, and he was dying. Tragedy beyond words. That person to die without knowing God and without being a part of that family is just his own pain. This dying man cried out in mockery to Jesus. Even while he was dying, even while he was hanging there, and it was just moments before his death, he was still mocking God. You almost can't imagine that scene. You almost can't put that into you try to imagine something with your mind's eye. That's almost hard to